Welcome to Let's Get Juicy. And we're just so grateful that you are here today. And we know that you are a juicy one, as we
Yeah,
are juicy ones. And we're all here and coming together in this moment of right here and right now to juice whatever is happening, or sometimes not happening in the moment. And so all is welcomed here to be juiced. So this is my beautiful sacred soul sister, Christina Litman, and I'm Melissa Bradley, and we are very excited to be here in the vibration and the frequency of Let's Get Juicy. So here we go. So
here
I'm
we
just
go.
curious,
Yeah.
my beautiful friend. I know you've been through. I'm so curious. I really am, you went through quite a deep dive in the last, was it been a week or 2 weeks
Two
or
weeks. It's
two
been two
weeks?
weeks.
Wow. And you were diagnosed with pneumonia.
Pneumonia. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So our commitment, and I know that's the commitment of everyone listening to this, is that we're going to juice everything, including that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just got angel truth bumps on that one. And thank you for, your willingness to move and groove with whatever that was. And so for you, what did you juice from that? What did you glean? What gifts have emerged through that experience?
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome everyone. Thanks for the question. I really, it's a juicy one. When I started the journey of, I guess resistance was the first key of I'm not sick, I'm well, whole, and complete. And as a
Mm.
practitioner of truth, that's really where I went. And my body said, no, we're going to go deeper on this one.
Mm.
And I would say, when in retrospect, looking at the fact that I had just come out of 2 weeks with my father, who was diagnosed with cancer, and then
Yeah.
came home and then got busy and then got to work. And then, so when it showed up, I wasn't quite surprised that there would be
Mm.
a little bit of a reverb of, oh, I'm feeling grief. I'm feeling
Mm.
grief that, my mother has been transitioned 11 years ago. Wow.
Wow.
And here I am looking at my only parent left and looking
Mm.
at the potentiality of that and not really looking at it, but feeling it.
Sure.
I don't know if I was really quite available to feel it while it was there,
Yeah.
because I was very much serving him. And so I
Yeah.
think it just is this time of going into how do I feel? And this feels like grief to me. And
Mm.
not only the grief of my father, but also and saying goodbye, right? The goodbyes, the great goodbyes that happen in our life.
Yeah.
They never
Mm.
seem to end. We say hello and we say goodbye a lot,
Oof. Yeah. Wow.
right? And
So
and
many times.
and the juiciness of it for me is really recognizing that we can't stop that. There is no controlling that. But how do I want to be in the goodbye? Do I want to be fully whole and complete and whole souled, available for all of it? The
Mm.
grief, the sorrow, the joy, the anger,
Sure.
as Elizabeth Kubler-Ross talks about in the stages of grief, right? And they're not in order. We jump back and forth. And even still after my mom has been gone, even also, as I know with your father, it's like it still comes up. It's
Oh,
not a one and done,
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know. And why would it? Why would it? Because we love these people so deeply with all of our hearts. And as long as we're in these bodies having these memories and these
Mm.
feelings, then we still get to feel. And
Mm.
that's I'm totally, I know you and I are both juiced up on that feeling,
We are. We
right? No
are.
matter what, like it may not feel good,
Mm.
but we're all about feeling, allowing the feeling to be to be in the frequency of it, whatever it is. And
Yeah.
as I know, and as you know, as coaches, it's like as we allow ourselves to be with it, it loosens up its grip.
I love that. Well, thank you for bringing that in. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, that is the juiciness of it, is simply, as I would say, simply and soulfully the acceptance, the embracing,
Mm,
the allowing of whatever is taking place. And when we're in that acknowledgement, yeah, that's really when the shift takes place.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny. Last week we had recorded one and it wasn't recorded. So I
correct.
always, I always look to perfection. Like there's always a divine order happening, and it was just
Mm,
for us. And so I'm really grateful to juice that as well. Like there
yeah.
was a moment of disappointment and responsibility, like, oh shoot. And I'm like, and it is what it is.
And that it is. And I feel like that, again, there's just so many gifts that come from life experiences. I mean, one could call it maturity, right? Being at
Yes.
the age, we're both at the age of 57, and it's taken me a few, not that there's time, but, we play in that on this
Yeah.
physical plane of reality when we play in time. And it's taken me a hot minute, so to speak, to get to that point of acceptance. I mean, it really has been the master key to unlock living in peace, living in flow, living in harmony, no matter what the conditions of life are. And it was cute when I approached you and said, "Oh, are we going to drop on Monday?" And you're like, oops, it didn't actually record. And I was like, okay, perfect.
Right.
So, and yeah, like, wow.
And what a gift it is to be in a relationship such as ours, that there's so much love and acceptance, that there's so much room here.
Yes.
Like I am ever so grateful to be in a relationship at 57. I would say maybe for the first time, where there's such a lovership here of I want
Mhm.
everything for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep.
and I'm not going to get in the way of that.
Yeah. I feel that for you as well. And, sometimes I love that so much, and that again, the gift of life's experiences. I mean, this is not where I was tracking as a teenage girl.
Oh no.
No way, not even close. Not in my 20s, not even my 30s, and not my 40s. It's really just truly starting to seep and set all the way into where it's permanent,
Yeah.
right? And isn't that the gift? And as we, before we even jumped on this call, we were having a brief, catch up, because yeah, you've been really tucked in, within yourself, which is so beautiful. But I was saying, I'm here in North Carolina, and we had so many plans for so many things, and the weather just hasn't been conducive. It's been cold, it's been windy, it's been rainy, and yet it's like water off of a duck's back, It
Mm,
just it
mm.
just washes right through, and it's no thing at all. And yet in past iterations of myself, it would have been fraught with so many, feelings and emotions, and just, like, yeah. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be. And yeah, we're all on this journey together. And to me, that's really, really juicy. Like I love how it's unfolding here, to hear how it's unfolding for you and for my friends and family and clients and for everyone listening here. Like, what's fresh for you? What's juicing you right now? What's new for you, right? What are you going, oh my God, this is amazing. I've never been with pneumonia or the flu or COVID or an intense cold like this before, or I've never been able to have a conversation with my parent in this way, or my child, or my beloved partner, or I've never, whatever the thing is, it's such a beautiful place of and time of discovery.
I really like that you said that, because it's a frame, right? It's the way in which we frame things that matters. It's our perception that will create juice, joy,
Yeah. Yes.
elation, or
Yes.
the perception that will contract. And I would be lying if I didn't say I've had a few moments of that, like, what's it all about?
Of
Right?
course.
Where I'm like, nobody's calling me, I have nothing. And I'm like, wow, let's
I
just, I
was.
know you were, absolutely. And I even looked at that too. I'm like, wow,
Teasing.
why are you like, where is it? I love this. Where is it ever good enough
Mm.
or God enough?
Woo, got angel bumps on that. Yeah,
It's
because
all
I
God
love that.
enough,
Well,
right?
because the human self can be insatiable, you
Mhm.
know? And whereas, God's self, like God is always Godding through us, right?
Yeah.
Whether we have pneumonia, whether we're going through bankruptcy, whether we're going through a divorce or breakup, whether we're in complete elation and oneness, like God is always Godding through us no matter what. And yet human self, I hear you. I've been there too. Like, yeah, why aren't more people calling to check on me right now if I'm sick or not feeling well or going through something? And woof, yeah, wow.
So the juice that came out of that, because I it was a deep dive, is
I
getting
know.
to and I'm wondering if other women can identify this, wanting so and longing so to be chosen.
Mm,
This
wow.
idea of really mattering, like how much do I really matter
Mm,
to my partner, to my
mm.
community, to my children, and
To my friends.
to my friends. Yeah.
Right.
And uh, I was reading something in the love cards today, and it said about
Mm,
my particular time of birth and when I came in is that my greatest challenge, if I so choose it, is to accept it all. I came in with some romantic notions about how I
that's a
think,
drop the mic.
right?
Can we just take
A
just a,
breath
as
there.
I would say, a pregnant pause, Like that is filled with juiciness and pregnancy of like, wow, what is your life like? What is my life like? What is everybody's life like listening to this when we
Mm,
truly accept it all?
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah. And is there an alignment? Because I was thinking about what would be supportive, for myself instead of, that I think the immature part that says I'm stayed and stuck in the
Mm,
misery of it not looking the way I want it to be and not
yeah.
feeling the love that I want to be feeling.
Yeah.
And as a practitioner and as a counselor, it's wait a second, let's expand this a little bit. Where are you not allowing it to be? Where can you so there's the juice right there. The nugget,
There's the
the sip
juice.
is to
Therein
open.
lies the juice.
Therein lies the juice. To open up the self to, I am so loved. And is
Mm,
there a possibility that my contraction is what is creating the contraction from my friends, my kids, like the outpicturing has to do with more or less me looking at my own inner contraction and it's manifesting that way. It's not really that my friends and my family don't love me.
yeah.
It's that they're part of my growth and development and expansion in this world. So what they're doing is they're holding the mirror
Yeah.
of what I need to work through in my belief system about me.
Mm, mm, mm.
Do I
Yeah, like
choose me?
working through belief systems about what we believe about ourselves, and also, it's in that's to me where the beauty of acceptance comes in. What do I have yet to love or accept or embrace about myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when that comes into our awareness, that's what we get to juice. That's what we get to milk. That's what we get to receive. And because when there's something that we haven't loved, accepted, or embraced about ourselves, then we create that separation within ourselves, right? And then that can be a source of suffering. to
Yeah.
feel that. Whereas it's, like we have all these children, right, within ourselves, and they're all kind of
Right.
running around and doing their own thing, so to speak. I've had it also described as gremlins, right? Like we have a bunch of gremlins. So it's
Ah, I
like,
like that.
it's
Ah.
like, woo, that one's climbing up the wall and that one's doing this, and oh my goodness gracious. And like you said about maybe your astrology or your challenge in this lifetime is to accept all of you. It's just like I just felt this really big, like big giant hug of all the children that live inside of us, right? And
Right.
just like,
Right.
I love you, I love you, I love you, I accept you, I adore you, I cherish you, just the way you are, and just like right into our heart, like just bringing it all
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, that's a beautiful practice, Melissa. I really,
Mm,
yeah, absolutely need to do that more. Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, because there was a place where I was just like,
Mm,
I couldn't get my moorings around my spiritual self. And it
mm,
was while
yeah.
I would read I have a daily practice that's really juicy. And I would do my daily practice and I'm like, wow, there's no resonance here. It's not touching me. And then I'm
Mm,
listening, as we listen to great spiritual teachers on YouTube or whatever, Reverend Michael and Panache, and we go to the leaders of it when we're feeling a little bit lost and for some wisdom. And I'm like, wow, that's just not reaching the inner sanctuary
mm.
of where I am right now. And the question is, oh my God, have I lost that loving feeling? I like, where'd it go?
I think there's a song. Isn't there a song like
Yes, yes.
that?
Lost that love and
And
feeling.
feeling, whoa, that
That
love and
love and feeling.
feeling, as if we could. That's
Right?
the most adorable thing ever,
I
right?
know.
And I
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I've so been there and got that t-shirt as well. So many t-shirts I've collected over this lifetime,
Right.
I tell you.
Well, and
Oh my,
I
barely
wonder,
room in the closet, really.
I mean, for me, because I look at what are the strategies that I have employed that have gotten me to those places, and what are the strategies that I have employed that lead me away from those places. Like what
Yeah.
is helpful and beneficial when I stay the course, just like any one of us who has a routine, such as our dietary choices or our health regime, our spiritual regime, our financial
Mhm.
regime.
Mhm.
When we go off course, all of a sudden now it looks like we're in Armageddon and we have nothing. I have learned nothing. And I find that cute too. Like,
Mm,
really? You've learned
mm,
nothing.
mm.
Where last week you just felt like you were on top of the world, and now here you are in the pit of hell, if you will. And I find that really silly because it's not the truth. I mean, with a
Right.
capital T, that if
Yes.
we do believe in something greater, that is our very life. If we do believe that there is an enactment that is happening individually as you and me, which I do with all my being, then I know that even this loss of memory, uh, God dementia, if you will, um, or what do I call it? I call it spiritual anorexia, right? Where I'm just not feeling plumpy and juicy about it.
Right.
Um, it's still breathing. It's still beating my heart. It's still healing my heart.
Exactly. That to me is the juiciest. I mean, we're so excited to keep juicing things forever here, and to me, that is the juiciest of them all is that our soul, our God self, our infinite nature, by whatever name you have given it, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't care. It doesn't need
Right.
or require a name. But there
Yeah.
is a continuum of energy, right? You could call it love vibrations, light, infinite potential that flows through us all endlessly and eternally. And there's nothing we can do to turn it off. It is always happening. It's always flowing. But the thing is, then our human self will grab our attention, right? Yeah, but what about this or what about that? And so when we can just place and remember, right, that flow of energy that's always flowing through us, then no matter what we're in, we can always be present with that energy. So I geek out on that. I really do. Um,
Well, I love that you brought this because there's this thing that's coming through this conversation for me about the feminine principle.
mm,
And that I've spent a lot of time the past 2 weeks really, what does the feminine represent for me? How do I know I'm in my yin, if you will, my very
mm,
feminine principles of love and nurturing, satiety,
receiving.
solemnity, safety,
Hmm.
sovereignty, softness,
Yeah.
going into the gentleness of
Mm,
compassion. Like you said,
hmm.
as we wrap our arms around all those little children and give them
Mm.
a big hug and say, it's okay, mama's here.
Yep, that's right. That's
It's
right.
okay,
Yeah.
wherever you are right now. And I
Yeah.
do want to speak a word to the external world that is, I would call it the bizarro representation of life. I look at it and I go, huh, wow, we're really, really needing some mama love right now. Like big
Exactly.
time,
Yeah,
big
the little
time.
gremlins are, they're
Yes.
definitely in need of some big, big, big love right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that my job is to not get attached or in kind of alignment with it, like get my little navigators to like pick a side and then go to war.
Right, right.
It's and that can be very easy for us right now because of fear, right? Like all the stuff that
Sure.
we're seeing about we're now at war. And I would say my heart goes, uh-oh, right? That little kid goes, uh-oh, what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Yeah.
And as a spiritual practitioner, what it means for me is, oh, joy. I get to go
Mhm.
deeper in my loving.
Yeah.
I get to go deeper in my forgiveness. I get to go deeper in my compassion for myself first.
Mhm.
And then
Yes.
also for all those places that I have a judgment and maybe
Mhm.
catch those judgments. That's my recommendation for us in the juicy, you know, sip of the moment, sip of the week, if you
Mhm.
will,
Mhm.
is
Love that.
can we, when we're feeling the bombardment of the external realm, the fear
Mhm.
factor come up
Mhm.
for the ego, this is our opportunity to go deeper in our compassion, our loving and forgiveness of, wow, forgive them. They know not what they do, but also forgive me.
Yeah.
I know not what
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
Sometimes, like you said, the gremlins, you know,
Mhm.
that, what is it? Oh, there's a statement. It's, the nuts have escaped the nut house and they're running things, right?
And I happen to be on land where the squirrels are squirreling like crazy all day long. There's a bird feeder and they know how to hang upside down and they know how to go this way. They are just, and their tails flicker around. I mean, I could watch squirrels all day long. So
Me
yes,
too.
I understand that. But they are like little gremlins and they want to
Yeah.
get into everything and they don't mind destroying things and they're going to run amok. I
Yeah.
mean, good luck on trying to train a squirrel, right?
I,
So,
right.
yeah, yeah. But I do know without a shadow of a doubt that we can love ourselves, s- every aspect of ourselves,
Yeah.
that which we deem so lovable and adorable and perfect and precious, to the pendulum swing of that which we find so awful and heinous and horrendous about ourselves. And it was shared with me recently, like, what a species that has such a capacity to be so incredibly brutal and destructive, to all the way to like a species that has the capacity to be so compassionate and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we have all of this inside of all of us,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
where really is there ultimately to judge in that? And so I love your invitation on the judgment side of things, and there's so much juice, to be juiced in our awareness of the judgment of where we're judging ourselves, where we're judging our partner, a friend, a family member, a parent, a child, somebody in the community, somebody at the grocery store, or somebody on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny how these particular venues will stimulate, our phones will stimulate, the news will stimulate
Mm.
judgment.
Yeah.
I would say unhealed judgment, because I'm always looking for the antidote
Mm.
to hatred. I've always been that way. I'm like, what is the antidote? I mean, great, we know this exists, but what would it feel
Yeah.
like, look like, be like for those of us who really didn't come here to do the duality anymore? Like, I'm
Mhm.
57 years old. I'm really not interested. It's a boring game to me.
It is.
I'm
It
really
really
bored.
is.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I really want to know what it's like to just love so deeply
Yeah.
and allow the soul mission, right? Because I really think that we came here to expand and express more than this
Absolutely.
base
We did.
level duality. Where what if we really came here, the
Mhm.
next level, the next iteration of humanity is
Mhm.
heaven on earth is at hand, that Eden consciousness we had talked about, where anything, everything that I want, need, and desire is here for me and for you. And
Yes.
how great is it to share it with you?
Exactly. Exactly. Which I think of as the spirit of aloha,
Yes.
which is joyfully sharing life together,
Yes.
harmoniously, coherently in oneness and remembering that we are one.
And maybe that's the antidote. Maybe we've solved it already, Melissa, is,
Yay!
aloha
Thank
is the
God.
way, right?
Mm,
Aloha is the way, where we are here to understand our own frailties and forgive them,
yes.
understand your frailties and forgive you. This is the
Yeah.
whole proponent for Ho'oponopono, right? Is
Mm,
we are in ever forgiveness, as Jesus, or Yeshua ben Joseph, the Christ, spoke about. Our job is to forgive, infinitely,
yes. Yeah.
infinitely, for a forgiving heart becomes a compassionate one,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And a compassionate one now is an empathic one, which connects you and me. And connection is what we're
Exactly.
here for. Like, human beings would die alone.
Hmm.
And yet we
Well,
do some of
babies, if they're not held, right,
yes.
in a certain amount of time when they're first born,
Yeah.
they will. And
Well,
you
look at
know,
us as human adults, where in isolation, right? COVID was such
yeah,
a hard time, because that isolation to a human being uh,
mm,
is like death.
it
Well,
is.
why else are we here if we're not here to share love with each other? That's why we're here.
Mhm. Yeah,
I mean, we
exactly.
think it's so much more and so more complex,
It's
but it
so
really isn't.
simple. It's so simple. It's so
You know,
simple.
I
Yeah, and
mean,
just
why
to go
why did
back.
we created this juicy Godcast so that we can connect with each other?
Exactly. Well, you and I are, we're love beings, we just
Yeah,
want to go up and I say this all the time to my friends, like being like a golden retriever, I just want to go up and hug
hug
people and
you,
love them and lick their cheek
lick
and
your
say, I love
face.
you, you're amazing. I vibrate that walking through airports and airplanes. I don't actually physically act on it because I probably it would end up getting locked up, but I really feel it in my whole heart and being, having just traveled here last week, and oh my gosh, I'm like, I just melting in love with everyone, and then also offering that to myself, right? So many times I've looked at others, and just loved so deeply, and really the medicine so much, the antidote has been to gift that to myself and to juice it from
Yeah.
within. So,
Yeah. Oh, I
yeah.
love that. And I love that you have really, you're such the reflection of refinement of my highest self.
Mm.
So I'm so grateful that
Oh,
we both
wow.
agreed to do this, because there are
Mm,
moments where I'm just so lost and alone, and I think of you and I go,
mm, mm.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
she's not lying about her humanness. However,
Mm,
she's juicing these moments in these places that are really tender, and
mm.
allowing the frequency to expand her being. Like, that's what we're here for,
It
is to be
is.
those golden retrievers, and then the
Yep.
golden retrievers find us. So thank you, golden retriever, for licking my
Exactly.
face.
Oh, well, as we begin to wrap up this beautiful, juicy Godcast, it's we know that each of you listening right here and right now are that as well, and that is your true nature and essence. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to, to us. So we see that in you and we feel that in you. And we know that we are in this together. And as our friend Ram Dass always says, we're all here walking each other home. So whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you're experiencing is beautiful, it's perfect, and it really is there to be juiced. If you are feeling judgment, juice it. If you're feeling love, juice it. If you're feeling joy, juice it. If you're feeling anger, juice it. That's really, I think, the intention of this podcast, Godcast, is for us to all be in this together and to remember to juice.
Absolutely. So we're just so grateful to have had this time with you. And we know that time is a commodity that's incredibly valuable because we know that we are in this body, not here forever. So thank you so
Mhm.
much for juicing joy with us today and juicing whatever is alive in you. It is
Mhm.
all welcome, always welcome. That
Yep,
juicing doesn't always mean we're always on the highlight in the end of the spectrum of joy and
exactly.
elation. It also means sometimes we're in the bottom of the barrel wondering how to get ourselves out. So you are not
Amen.
alone. You are not
You're
alone.
not
We are here
alone.
with you. And
Yes.
for this week, my request is to remember to wrap your arms around yourself in each and
Mhm.
every day in every
Mhm.
way. Grab all those little children that are alive in you, those little gremlins, if you will,
Mhm.
and love them all. See if you can love the
Mhm.
parts of you that really are not as lovable as the other ones. And maybe we spend a little bit more time there. I know I am doing that right now. The
Mhm.
one that says that I'm not good enough or I don't have enough or I should be farther along in my journey at 57 than I am. What a funny joke that is.
It's quite the ingrained programming that we've inherited, and nobody's at fault, It's just like all the colors of the rainbow, right? We just keep welcoming in that full spectrum of love to hug and hold and to embrace, again, all these little children from within to eventually it all does become one, right? Where there is no longer any separation. It all becomes integrated. And, my curiosity with all that is how much fun can you have juicing whatever you're feeling right now? Whether it's judgment, again, whether it's love, whether it's joy, whether it's loss,
Hmm.
whatever you're feeling, how much fun can you have juicing it?
I just had this image of our Godcast loosening the jar on the smoothie for everyone. So we've
Mm.
loosened the jar for you. You
Yeah.
and you now can open it up and sip it in the delight of all that was created here and see how it manifests miracles in your life. Peace
Mhm.
and aloha to you all. And until next week, stay juicy.
Stay juicy. We love you.